Rival gangs will wage war on the streets of London. Only one will be left standing. Choose your side wisely.
You're gonna die! London will suffer! Look out! I'm going to ram him off the road.
Gangs of London.
So what else from X06, like, if you weren't there, like, were there any games that came across better or worse than you felt like than they actually were? Did your mind change about any games? You were talking, like, you of all people, I was amazed, you were talking about Bioshock. Like,
well, it's more the first demo really showed like the atmosphere of the game, while this actually shows like there is some action to it, like in terms of the fighting, and it is a first-person shooter, but there's more to it. Like you're fighting this, you know, those big daddies, those big things with the armor, then like, but also got this enemy who's like shooting like gobs of goo at you or something, and you're stopping those in midair and throwing them at the enemy while lighting a teddy bear on fire and throwing it at them, and then shooting like your shotgun at them, and it's crazy. It's really intense. And
now, the big daddies won't bother you if you don't bother them. They're genetically modified protectors of characters we call the Little Sisters. And the Little Sisters live in these vents you see over here. Now, what does a Little Sister do? The most important resource in the world of Rapture is something called Adam. The genetic material that powers all the genetic mutations that gives everybody their incredible powers in Bioshock. Here comes the Little Sister.
Basically, what Ken Levine's saying is that that's a whole another part of the next demo he's going to show is like the whole moral aspects of the game.
So like, why would you want to kill?
He said
these
because
girls?
they are the source of your upgrade power. So it's a choice like, do you kill a childlike thing to gain more power for yourself, or do you leave them alone?
You got that, kid.
Yeah, exactly. Like
you say, this is the wrench. Here's your face.
Yeah, that's just like because like the source of like all the genetic modification is in those kids.
I still haven't seen Bioshock in action. I've only seen the CG, but I played System Shock 2, and like I know where this series came from, and it is not really a first-person shooter. It's like more of a first-person RPG.
What I saw was a first-person shooter. What I saw second was finally like some elements of first-person shooter, and like I was totally down this game. I'm like, this game, whatever. It's gonna be some good-looking adventure game, but that demo at X06 sold me on it.
Was there any explanation for Two Human?
2 Human was not mentioned whatsoever.
Actually, though, we talked with the guy who I can't remember his name. He works with Shane Kim in First Party, and he apologized to Brian and I on the bus from one of the events, saying, "Yeah, 2 Human being shown at E3 was my fault." He's like, he felt really bad about showing it early, and he said that they learned a pretty valuable lesson from it. And I said, "So when are we going to see it again?" And he said, "When it's ready."
Taking heavy fire. We have hostiles in all directions. Big range. Nope. Take cover. Roger that. Moving
If you want to talk about Gears, I mean, the problems facing Gears is the problem with what they've chose to present.
Yeah,
like so far
they're showing the same.
They're showing the same
That's
area, the same architecture. Like the multiplayer maps look exactly like the single player
They don't
maps.
show anything apart from that first level.
No, that's all they're showing, and it's obviously it's by design. They don't want to show their hand. Like as far as like for visual variety, right now what we're seeing out of Gears, there's none.
Yeah,
and so that's a very fair complaint, and I think everyone's pretty optimistic that there'll be more.
Feeling that same with Resistance, but they started showing more Resistance. Like, okay, there's more than
that
brown wreckage.
I'll be happy if they held it back, because I love being surprised when I finally.
Yeah, I mean, they say they haven't showed any boss battles yet. They haven't showed one. Like that's a major part of the game. They're saying
because there was so much more to it than I thought there was. I was like, wow, this really ended up being more of a game than
Speaking of Resident Evil 4, I mean, I talked to Luke about this a lot, but when I first talked to Clippy about the game, he was very into Resident Evil 4. He will go on and on about it, and one of the things I don't think we're seeing a lot of that they showed in one of the original demos was there's like context-sensitive stuff in the game that's like the RE4, like jump over this, push this ladder down, and they haven't shown any of that.
I saw like
pretty sure it is. He was like, on this one, you're spinning this thing, so it'll be spinning the analog stick. On this one, you're going to be tapping these 2 buttons. So assuming that stuff's in there, I think that's going to add a lot of that variety to the gameplay that people are hoping for.
The way he described it too in the meeting was funny when you were saying press A, because because that's how the game sort of feels. Like press A, press forward and A, jump over, and like he described it as a platformer sort of tipped onto a different axis. Where like in a platforming game, you're jumping up through the space. Well, in Gears, you're jumping forward through the space. And he described one sequence where like if you had the character Marcus, and you had one version of Marcus run straight through an area without stopping at anything, and you had another person playing through the same area but using the cover and navigating through the cover, you can actually get through the area faster using the cover, which I thought was like a pretty interesting balancing choice that they've used.
The game does look good. I mean, visually,
it does look
if
really
you wanted
good.
something to show off your 360, you pop in Gears of War. Holy shit.
I see it too. What are we looking at? Hell if I know. Marcus, gotta move to the Raven now!
But Forza 2, that was playable for the first time on the show floor, right?
I didn't play it, but
Bailout.
I didn't see anybody else playing it
I know
either.
the video looked okay. I mean, but there's no
there's a
indication of how
reason-
real it was.
Yeah, there's a reason they weren't letting anyone take video of it like officially, right? And it's because the frame rate isn't there yet, I assume.
Right, the frame rate is not.
Like the still
not
pictures
there.
are looking better. It's just the
There's a, I mean, it's a ways away.
right.
And it's,
Yeah, I
it's
mean, you can
definitely
tell
shows
there's
that it's a
some
ways
matters.
away.
You're a racing fan, hardcore than anybody else here, and what do you, I mean,
There's
do
a
you
point
bad
where
about
it's
that?
just diminishing returns, where it's like, okay, it's X% more real than it was previously, but what's more important is that you don't bounce off things the way you used to. And, we have damage now and stuff, but like there's all this attention going into this thing behaving exactly.
Now in Gran Turismo, do you have to pay extra for the damage, or
No, you have to pay extra to fix it.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I finally got a chance to play more of the PS3 games, like the last day of TGS, and like MotorStorm. While I think it looks really, really great, you really feel like you're moving slow while you're playing it. Like it has this whole turbo system where you, in order to get going real fast, you're always using your turbo and you're balancing that against overheating, right? It's like you turbo as much as you can on straightaways.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah,
didn't
exactly.
I play that already on the NES?
And but the problem is when you're not doing that, everything feels kind of slowed down, and it looks beautiful and it runs smoothly, but it feels like it's being artificially like slowed down in order to run smoothly.
It does happen, the slowdown thing, but it happens whenever you're off the air, and it's so that you can like level your vehicle out again, because you have control over all
With the
that sort of thing.
6-axis controller.
Actually, no, it was all that.
Apparently now there is 6-axis control.
Well, according to the latest issue of EGM, I was noticing that there's 6-axis control in there, but like at the show, what was playable, it wasn't using the tilting at all.
First person or third person?
I played
First
both.
person.
I
First
played it
person
both.
felt faster to me.
No, first person did feel faster,
And
and a
looks
lot of
better.
people weren't playing it that way, and
Yeah,
it looks
it
way
looks a lot
better.
better,
But it feels like you're not, like maybe not quite on the moon, but one of those moons, one of those other planets that has gravity somewhere between Earth and the moon.
Most racing games that are built with kind of that arcade sensibility start slow and get faster as they go on. Anything from Mario Kart to Wipeout to fucking anything, F-Zero.
I hope so,
It's
like-
probably just the beginning of the game.
It reminds me a lot of Wave Race.
Yeah,
That's what it reminds me
it
of.
actually kind of does, because you're like jumping and you're like
Yeah, it's
bouncing
very arcadey
up and
and
off the
bouncy.
ground.
It's like a showpiece, and it's not a very serious racing game. Like someone who doesn't normally buy like a Gran Turismo can buy this and just have fun, like running around a track.
flipping over.
It's very over the top. The effects are crazy.
Well, so then the two other games I played, one was Warhawk, which is actually kind of like backdoored Battlefield.
It's like Battlefield.
Yeah, Battlefield 2142. Like
Yeah.
it takes place in the future, and actually, I thought I had a lot of fun, but not as much fun on foot or in the vehicles as when you get into the jet. It feels like, oh, this is what the game is meant to be. It's cool. You'll have missiles snaking out from people on the ground every once in a while, but it's like only once you get into the jet does it really feel like this is the way the game is meant to be played. And when you're dogfighting with someone, when you're chasing after somebody, it really is a skill, like, because you're, trying to chase them exactly as they're flying. So you're kind of like replicating whatever they're doing, just like kind of you would in real life. And how good you are balancing out is how good you're going to stay on their tail and, shoot them down. You were kind of worthless on the ground unless you got a missile launcher, and then it was like you could take out jets in one hit, which was a little weird too. But I mean, all that balancing, that stuff's yet to happen.
Yeah, the game's actually further away than we think too.
This happened at E3, and I noticed it in some of the videos from TGS, is that the sort of vagueness of the flying, and you'd see people like not being able to land and bouncing off things.
Right.
And it just seemed like, You know, I mean,
Just
I
give me
dig
the
the whole
sticks.
with the paper airplane. But
Yeah.
You know, I think having sensitivity controls just like you would on your analog sticks is really
Yeah.
going to help change things too.
Totally.
Same as, I mean, the same thing could be said of the Wii. Like, who knows how much of this stuff you're going to have to be doing all the time, as long as there's like a sensitivity control that you can change and adjust and calibrate for yourself.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like part of the console setup rather
That's.
than.
I hope they do that, like
Yeah.
Microsoft, like.
Yeah, how Microsoft has the general controls for different styles of games. Yeah, if the Wii did something like that, I think it would be a really good thing for them.
Because you're going to be setting it in every game. And we came out of the Tokyo conference like, man, Nintendo is just going to steamroller everyone. Like, for Japan, what they rolled out is pretty amazing. I mean, the fact that they showed a Pokemon game, which is like, and then they showed, you know, brain training or Brain Age.
Or Big Brain Academy. That's
Big Brain Academy, right.
They have a very strong lineup for Japan.
That's one thing I'm worried about for the Wii is like almost every game is WarioWare.
I'm getting a little worried
now.
too because I realize like the 4 games I'm most looking forward to, besides Zelda,
Are all
that are coming out this year are all mini games.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them.
What are they?
Like Wii Party, Wii Sports, WarioWare,
Right.
Monkey Ball, Rayman. They're
Collections.
probably really good and really fun. And
Right.
you pull out a party, everyone's gonna have a good time. But
Yeah,
are you going to have like a deep, meaningful experience with your Wii outside of Zelda? And will that Zelda be the version you want to play? That's still the question we're asking ourselves.
Right.
So if it isn't, if it ends up being more easier to play with the GameCube, then suddenly Wii is your party system only this fall.
Reggie said before, like when the DS launched, there really wasn't that game that showed this is what the system is made for, and it was really like Nintendogs was the first game that used like all of it as one cohesive thing. And he said like they absolutely want to have that for Wii. I kind of don't feel like they do. I mean, I think it's coming for sure, but the thing that uses the 24 Connect, that uses the Wiimote, that maybe uses the nunchuck, that uses like the Mii functionality, like all of that stuff in one kind of game that couldn't be done on any other system. Like I feel like that hasn't
They
come
need
yet.
Animal Crossing to come out or something like that, and have it actually be like a real full sequel and not just like the same game you played on Nintendo 64.
They need a Mario GameCube launch. Do they kind of need Mario at this launch to really like home run this thing?
No, they needed like the game that you just described, and like you talked about, like with the Connect 24. It's one of the things that, I mean, people should still be concerned about the lack of, like, Nintendo still doesn't
Online.
seem to get online.
Pokemon is the only game that's going to be online.
One game
this year.
online, and I mean, and it's something similar that I talked about a little bit with Sony and Nintendo are both a lot alike right now in this area, that they're both sort of being very cagey about their online strategy. Sony, we know, is going to have a multiplayer game in Resistance. We know it's going to run with 40 people, but outside of that, like, we don't know how it's going to work. We don't know how Sony's marketplace is going to work.
How to work still.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. These companies are still sort of, and like that's what Microsoft's big strength is. I think that everyone can agree that Xbox Live is like Microsoft's main strength, and until Nintendo and Sony can, you know, get their footholds in that too, and they're not right now. Like Nintendo is in awful shape online. Like I don't really care that I can check the weather online. You know where I can do that? On my computer, where it's a hell of a lot easier to type. Just weather.com. I can do that faster than I can waggle to it.
First half next year, like by next fall, they're gonna have that game that no one knew about, new IP that's gonna like kind of get everybody together like Nintendogs did.
It's funny because of DS, and we all see what's happened with DS. We're all kind of giving Wii the benefit of the doubt, and even though this Christmas it might not be everything we want it to be, we're all like, well, Nintendo will figure it out by next year.
Yeah. I think still, if I had to choose one system, like you could only have one system this fall.
Does that mean I can't have my PS2 or DS anymore if I don't pick PS2 or DS?
We're talking next gen system. If I had to choose one, I think I would have to choose the Wii just to play Zelda. Like, I'm excited about the other games, but not that excited about it. But
you can spend $50 and play your GameCube.
You're retired.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
Dead
wait a
Rising?
month.
Aha.
There's no way I'm gonna wait a
Nintendo wins.
month. No, absolutely, their bullshit has worked on me, and it pisses me off. But I'm gonna do it. I have to.
$300 for Zelda.
On November 17th, the PlayStation 3 does not have to be worth $600 to you. It doesn't have to give you $600 worth of enjoyment that day. Because like it's not as if no more games are ever going to come out for that. Those games that day, that's it. End of the line. It's such a foolish idea.
So what system? If you can only have one
of those three this fall?
Yeah.
PS3. It's just the most exciting, the most games, the newest, the best technology.
But like which
wrong
game?
On the $600 argument, because it does have to be $600.
the day it's worth.
Well, yeah, you got to go home and feel vindicated for your purchase.
I mean, I've been buying systems
because what you're saying is, I just dropped $600. And on each subsequent $60 purchase, I'm going to feel better about
I'm
myself.
gonna earn that $60
So 10%
back.
more every time to feel better about the initial investment?
I mean, as someone who's been buying systems on launch day for a very long
So
time.
how much do you have to spend before you're happy? $1,000? $1,200?
I mean, if there are games,
In the
if there are
Shane
games at
universe.
launch that are like
That's
not,
how much Gran Turismo costs. I just have to buy Gran Turismo.
but like you know, at system launch on day one, I've bought a lot of systems, and usually I haven't gotten my money's worth. Even with all the best games, like
I mean, I understand your logic
Right.
in principle, but I think with something that's that big of a ticket, I think you've got to walk out of the store feeling like it was worth it.
Well-
And I think with Wii, you're going to be able to do that. I think
Well,
it's $300 to play Zelda. I mean,
you could have played Zelda on your GameCube,
Right.
and those mini games might be boring after an hour.
down the road for Shane, it will be though. 'Cause
Well, yeah, but-
those games are exactly what what Sony's gonna eventually bring to the table. Is exactly what you
Right.
as a
When
gamer
when I
want.
buy a PlayStation 3 on day one, part of that is like, well, I know I'll be playing like Metal Gear and Final Fantasy and Devil May Cry and God of War and all these games that I know I'm interested in already, and they're going to be coming on this console, and I want to get it so that I can play those games.
See, I wait.
But why approach a console like an investment?
Because it is.
But why day one?
But see, that's the thing. Like, all those games are going to come later, and they'll be awesome. That's why I think PlayStation 3 is going to have an awesome 07. It's like I have to be like sucker like Mark that I love Zelda, and that would be my only launch thing. The 360 I didn't like enough to buy at launch. I like the 360 now, so I'll probably buy that. And I will buy a PS3, just probably not at launch because there isn't the $600 thing I would feel comfortable. Not even $600. I won't feel comfortable walking out with like $800 worth of
Scooter,
stuff
I think
because
with
I gotta buy
I think with your TV,
peripherals and
I think
crap.
with your TV, you would appreciate Blu-ray when you get it home. You put those in and see how good that looks.
Oh, enough.
I knew except
Ladies and gentlemen, Kazurai.
No, like everyone. Once again, everyone views Blu-ray as this albatross, this thing I don't want. Like, oh, don't give me high definition movie that looks amazing. On
Are
that
we
one day.
basing game consoles, whether we're going to buy one, what movies we can watch on them? I mean, remember, these are game consoles. I think it comes down to whether this fall, what's more important to you, Gears of War, Zelda, or Resistance.
So what's
I
more
think,
important?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know yet. I mean, I haven't seen all three of them enough.
Because you really like Resistance.
I really like
Resistance
Resistance.
is
What is this
I think it's
political
really.
bullshit answer? Like,
No, I just don't.
pick
I don't
one.
know yet. I mean,
Come on, Brian.
part of me
Moore,
thinks
based
I already.
on what
Part of me
you've
thinks
seen
I.
Up until now, you had to buy one. Which one would you buy?
I would go Wii with Zelda, but the controls really worry me. That's my one concern. Like if I knew the GameCube controller could plug into the Wii version and play it that way, there would be no question to go Zelda. But right now, I'd say I'm leaning toward Resistance because I'm really worried about the Wii controls with Zelda. I think sword fighting and all the arrow shit is gonna get tired after like a couple
fair
hours.
answer. So Resistance.
Resistance
over
would be my way to go.
Gears of War.
Well, and,
Yeah.
and like I haven't really talked about Xbox 360, and like I have an Xbox 360, and I'm really looking forward to Gears of War. But beyond that, there are very few games this fall before Christmas on Xbox 360 that I want to play.
I think you can extend that. I think you can extend that statement further though. Like, there are very few games coming out this fall that I want to play.
No, as I said, there are 5 games.
That's how
There
I
are 5
feel.
games on Wii that I want to play. 4 of them are minigame collections.
4.
And on PS3, there's about 4 games I want to play too. But that's 3 more than on Xbox.
Third party for the most part. Third party online with PS3 is probably going to get hung out to dry for a while.
No, I think there will be some titles this year.
There probably will be some this year, but every person we talked to, it has been like we're not really sure we want to do online, but we haven't really got the exact specs for it. So hopefully, it looks like maybe some people might work it out by the fall, but hopefully by next year they'll actually have all that shit ironed out.
At least you know it won't be hackneyed or thrown in late. It's just like fucking 6 weeks away from launch, and they're like, yeah, we don't really know if we're gonna get online. And that's how you make a good online system. That's how you implement something seamless and perfect, the Sony way.
You know, I made it pretty public that I'm probably going to end up buying all the systems very soon
Yeah,
after
I
the
think we
launch.
all
no
are.
question.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
all are. I think that's not
Totally.
the question. But
For me, I'd stick with my 360. I think like the online play stuff is what I'm really interested in. Gotta play Gears, and like the other stuff, Rainbow Six, I really, really, really want to play, and I want to play it online. And I want it
What
to
if
be
the
good.
version is better on PS3? It's conceivable, right?
It's going to be anyone can play that offline anywhere, or you can play it online on the 360. I really think that's what it's going to come down to.
We don't
this
know
year.
that the PS3 version doesn't have online.
You're right. But if Tony Hawk doesn't have it on the PlayStation, which, you know, Activision and Neversoft have supported the PlayStation 2 online for as long as anyone, you know, like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
pretty sure that's a
worrisome
worrisome sign for, you know, Splinter Cell 360 looks good, but it doesn't look that great. Like, it doesn't look that great. But if you're into Splinter Cell, which I'm not really, like, I'm sure that's going to be a fun Splinter Cell game. I am, on the other hand, very into Rainbow Six, and, like, I know it's going to be good single player, and I have a pretty good idea that it's going to be fun online, and I want to play it online, so 360.
already
Is Luke
spent
even good to go?
$400. No, I mean, if I had none of the consoles and had to buy one this fall, I would probably still buy a 360, just because it's been around longer and we're to the second generation of games. I mean, as is, I bought my 360 so late. Like I bought it in May. Just like in May is probably when I'll buy my PS3. Like it'll probably be as the second gen of PS3 games start to come on the horizon. We start to see sort of what it can do. I mean, otherwise I was gonna get it for Assassin's Creed, but that totally,
Related point. I do want to say DS has an awesome Christmas, and it kicks the PSP's ass.
DS and PS2 both.
PS2, I mean,
PS2 as well. Totally.
Yeah, I really want to get.
Wait, what out of Final Fantasy 12? Like, what is PS2?
Guitar Hero 2.
Okami.
Okami.
I'll take my Guitar Hero on 360 now, thanks.
Next year, though. Can you wait? Can you wait?
My roommate bought the first Guitar Hero, so he spent the money on the guitars and all that stuff. I haven't dropped in yet, so I'm gonna wait and I'll get the 360. I mean, and the Wii looks awesome. I mean, potentially awesome, but it really is the only game I want to play is Zelda.
And a bunch of fun minigames.
I want WarioWare, but the
Shane's gonna have 4 different.
I'll just go over his house.
Yeah, parties.
I find it so bothersome that WarioWare isn't launched.
Me too.
Like, what is the deal with
Mario
that?
is not launched. I think that's my biggest disappointment of this fall. Is Mario's not launched.
I'm going to have a house full of people, and the only person that really games regularly is me.
Right.
And I'm going to be able to plug the Wii in. I'm going to get everyone in the house to be able to play a video game, and they're all going to go, "Wow, video games aren't what I expected." And I'm really like into that. I remember doing that with iToy, and it kind of worked. And people were like, "Oh, it's fun," and they went away and forgot all about it forevermore, as did the rest of America apparently. But I think the Wii has a chance, you know, there's going to be a bunch of kids and a bunch of parents, and we're all going to be able to play together, and it's going to be like video games were a very long time ago.
I'm really interested to see what the PlayStation 3 launch titles are going to be, because like you said, I feel like a lot of people didn't think that the 360 launch was that like good, you know, like the games that came out weren't that interesting. See? I had like 4 or 5 games at launch, and they all were like 7 to 9.
You had the Shane.
That's
You know
how
what Shane
Well,
feels.
I was talking today, like for me, Ridge Racer, Genji, Resistance, and MotorStorm. Those are all
Genji?
Massive damage.
No, wait. I played. Hey,
When did you get excited about Genji?
Not Genji.
look, I'm not a. All right. I was
I'll
not
give you a
wait.
pass on like MotorStorm, but like Genji.
All right. Did you play it at TGS?
No.
I did.
You want me to tell you why I didn't
Why
play
didn't
it
you play
at
it at
TGS?
TGS?
Because I played it last year when the crap ass game came out for PS2, and I played it 5 years ago when it was called Onimusha.
You know, I came into this like, who cares? A stupid crab. Is there Onimusha again? You know, I don't love Onimusha. It's
exactly.
decent.
Right.
But they changed the camera. They redid the controls. It uses the motion controller now. The combos are really fun. You switch in, has good graphics. It's not an awesome game, but it's very solid. And it's a game you really play and like you fight bosses and get power-ups.
I wouldn't even say that
but at
it's
launch,
necessarily bad. I'm not excited
I'm saying
about it
at
because
launch,
it's like I've played that game
It fills a
million
role
times.
that like 360 didn't have a game like that. You know, like Nintendo, Wii doesn't have a game like that really. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna run out and buy Untold Legends because I'm desperate for games, but I played Genji. It's good. I would not be upset owning Genji.
Okay, I think there's a difference between not be upset to own and like
I'm looking
actually
forward.
care
Having
to
played
buy.
Genji, I'm looking forward to Genji. All
All
right.
right, well, I
I
can't.
think you and I have a different concept of I don't know,
Reality?
money. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm
Well,
married.
if you're an early
but
adopter,
I
yeah.
have to be able to justify a $600 purchase to the
That's the
missus.
difference of being a bachelor.
And if I come home with this thing and she's so, why did you buy it?
Genji.
Check it out.
I mean, Resistance, yeah. But there is that sort of, I need to be able to justify this now as well as 6 months from now.
From the gulags, tundra and oil fields of Russia to the streets of London, these men have seen it all. To many, the Zakharov organization is a successful Russian-run shipping company, but that merely serves as a front for one of the most ruthless gangs operating in London today. Hardened by their experience, they follow orders with a fierce determination and an unquestioning obedience to their superiors. Their leader, Vladislav Zakharov, moved to London in the early 90s to expand their worldwide shipping empire. A prime mover for the elite thieves-in-law, also known as the Russian Mafia. The gang quickly rose to power and began basing their operations around Westminster and Lambeth. Zakharov's Russian military contacts give them access to the latest in high-tech weaponry. Their cars may not be the fastest in London, but these Russians remain formidable opponents that should not be crossed.
London is ours. Top Heavy Studios.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, sweet.
Oh, man, I could jerk off to this. Pelicans!
Oh, God.
Oh, you can't see her boobs either. Or hers.
She could use a few sit-ups.
Commentary. That's good. I always like my masturbation to come with commentary.
You know, I never thought I'd play this game again. Ever.
2 weeks from retirement, too.
I know.
Select a profile.
Big Daddy's our default. Howdy, ladies. My name's Fuck Chop.
I like long walks on the beach and looking at tits.
All right. Jammer. I think I like it.
Keep that.
Jammer it is. Fuck Chop and Jammer. In the morning. Oh man, I want Lori because she looks fucking stupid.
Alright, so if you haven't played this game, the crux of this game is whether or not a dumb slut knows the answer to a trivia question.
Fair enough.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spring Break
can be
on
us,
Padre
guys.
Island and another
South Padre Island.
episode of the Guy Game. I'm Steve Graves with your play-by-play,
Jesus
and with me in the
Christ,
booth
game.
today is Dick Conrad.
Dick Conrad is playing with my genitals as we speak. Oh boy, that's right. I'm wrist deep in your butt with my fist.
From this one.
And now another one in my own.
Teamwork, my friend. Steve,
And a third one in my mouth.
is going to try their hand at besting his fellow opponents during four.
Fuck of that.
Stepping up to the plate.
Oh wow, they're twins. Look.
Twin beasts.
That's the Butterface twins.
You might not even hit it if no one knew about it, twins.
For college, what are you studying?
I'm trying to be an RN.
Training to be an RN, a nurse. Yeah, and how about you?
Same thing.
I'm picturing the two of you in nurses' outfits as we speak. Here we are, ladies. In a standard deck of playing cards, which suit's king has no mustache?
So now we say,
shit.
do they know?
Oh,
I
no.
bet they don't, because they're dumb sluts.
Yeah, she's wrong.
She's wrong. Wow, that was really hard.
Are we going to see something?
No.
I don't know. I'll fuck you for dinner.
No, Crispin, you seriously have to play.
I think you said a first name.
Answer is hearts.
What happens?
I don't know, you lose.
Good.
Oh, sweet.
Sorry.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh!
Didn't you guys get it right?
Very good job, ladies.
I hear his lip isn't the only hair he likes to shave.
Oh, yeah, bitch.
Oh, man. I'm a new asshole.
There always is.
And it all came down to mustaches.
Yeah, so you have to get.
Oh, it squirts just like a penis.
And it's soft and squishy, just like your penis.
That's your penis, Chris.
That's yours. My penis. That's your penis.
It's my penis.
Oh, boy.
Look at this hot chick.
Student who's working
Oh,
as a waitress.
Nora. Fashion
She's
merchandising.
kind of like Tasha Yar, but ugly.
Everything about this girl.
She's smart, she's attractive, and when you ask her for food,
What causes a seismic ocean wave?
I'm guessing from the word seismic that it's an earthquake. I don't know. Did you guys go to 3rd grade?
All I want to know is that we're going to see... how long do we have to wait to
Here
see
we go,
tits?
Nora.
Approximately an hour.
Here is your
Nah, we can get tits faster than that.
What
Plus, look at
causes-
hers.
A seismic
ocean wave.
Flat and A cup. That's the way I like them.
Earthquake?
The correct answer is earthquake. You got away from me. You got away from me. I tried to make them difficult, guys. I didn't mean to do
You know, $50 ago, you could have seen tits on the internet for free by typing tits into Google. Put it out there.
Oh, man.
I'm going to go try this.
It's kind of like Michael Jackson.
I like Michael Jackson.
All right.
I don't know if I'd fuck him, but...
We're gonna spend some time
Yeah, probably. Just for the story.
Steve, a little known
Okay, I like this girl.
Stephanie has spent the last 3 years being a cheerleader for the
Oh, her best features are tray full of shots.
Don't give me a hard one.
I'm not going to.
You look smarter than her.
Okay, I'll do my best not to give you a hard
Guys,
one.
this is obviously the hottest girl we've seen yet.
But I gotta tell you, I got a hard
Yeah,
one.
she looks good.
All right, the question is...
Oh, he's talking about his erection.
Miles Davis
That's
is
not
known
creepy
for
at all.
playing
Not
what
at all.
instrument?
Crispin's left.
He hates his game.
He really doesn't want to see tits. You should go find the tits on Google and come
He's
back.
probably just jerking off. This game got him going. How was your masturbation?
Oh, I know who that is.
Because you get so worked up.
I'm drained.
Here we go.
Correct answer is the trumpet, guys. I don't know what to tell you. He was quite possibly the coolest motherfucker to ever walk the planet.
Great motherfucker, Miles Davis.
Motherfucking Miles Davis is so fucking awesome.
I won't press anything.
Miles Davis once popped a wheelie, and then used to hang out with my uncle, and they used to fucking get, oh my god, they were awesome.
These players all missed the bonus. At this rate.
What's wrong with you? Don't you want to see titties?
I do. Dum dum. They should have the Price is Right music.
Oh my god.
Dum dum dum.
Man.
New president.
Get ready for this. They're all so fun.
Oh, balls out, balls
Will we
in.
see tits?
This is the least fun you'll
see
ever
tits.
have.
Okay.
We're gonna see tits.
I want to play. I want to play with balls.
That's pretty sweet.
I'm playing with balls.
Titties. Your dreams are
Titties and balls.
Oh, look, you can quit because the game fucking sucks.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. Did I quit the whole game? I couldn't take any more of that.
Wait, let's meet the babes.
Let's play a quickie.
Oh, I would like to meet these ladies.
She's the women's freestyle spanking champion. Go back. Go back. 3 years running. They didn't do that once, but 3 times.
I like it if one of them just had a totally normal thing, like invented the tire gauge.
Loves her kids. Hates her father.
A waitress at Applebee's.
Guy Game TV.
Thomas, have you gotten laid yet? Be honest.
Do you wanna?
Haven't gotten laid yet.
But I think it's cause I'm a fat idiot.
What are your chances?
Between 75 and 90%.
How do you get her out the next day when you're done with her?
I lift an armpit, maybe a fart on her head. You know, I really don't fucking... Most women don't stick around past, like, when I vomit on them.
You think of my ass.
That fat guy peed on me.
How do your boyfriends feel about you being here?
I don't know. I sucked a few dicks in the bathroom, but it's just nothing's really tasty.
I sucked a few dicks in the bathroom.
So damn good on the beach, I couldn't resist. I didn't have to say a damn thing.
It's up to you. Where's the relationship going?
That's fucking Brooke Shields.
Hilarious.
Spring break relationship.
It's gonna end. When are you leaving?
I leave on Saturday, so...
Yeah, I gotta be a Keanu Reeves hair model in 1985.
Time to get a new lady, Sasquatch.
That girl loves the cock.
That's what I was gonna say.
Stole your line, dude.
Oh man, that guy took my line. I don't recognize
See, okay, right there, you're getting more boobs in the loading screen than you'll probably get in the
Yeah,
first
no shit.
hour of playing the game.
Listen to this poll quote. The guy game is aimed squarely at testosterone-laden college students, spring breakers, and, well, any red-blooded American guy. That's the fucking poll quote. That says nothing positive at all. That's like, we've figured out the demographic for this game. Way to go. It's sort of built into the title, fucking IGN.com.